My name is Kenman and I play both the piano and the violin. I aspire to someday be a doctor and my favorite subject is calculus. My mom and dad are tiger parents who won't let me to go to sleepovers, but they make up for it by serving my favorite meal every single day, rice, and I'm a really bad driver. So my question for you now is, how long did it take you to figure out I was joking? As you've probably guessed, today I am going to talk about race and I'll start off by sharing with you my story of growing up Asian American.
I think this also crossed the same path when my parents made me go to Korean school on Saturday, and I was so pissed that they were making me and my brother go to school on extra day. Like we already had Monday through Friday, and now they're adding like a whole new curriculum for Saturday. And like they also made us go to church every Sunday, so I feel like I had no days off. So we had to go to Korean school. Then there is this one instance with a teacher that just really stuck with me. She was telling us that when people ask us what our ethnicity is, we need to say that we are Korean American. The Korean always has to be first. And I remember being very unsettled by it because I felt like in my heart that I was American. So I raised my hand and told her my piece and she said, "No, you are always going to be Korean. You are Korean American." And I just said like, why can't I just be American? I was born here, I speak the language, I don't understand. I just felt like this big distance between my culture and what I was brought into. I associated being Korean as a negative thing because number one, the bullying sucked, and number two, I would see the way people would treat my parents. Like my parents didn't speak English very well. I would just see the way people would treat my parents because of their accent. People lose their temper. People get frustrated. People treat you like you're an idiot when you have an accent, and it just really frustrated me. And my mom is already kind of a shy, timid person. And I think when she was thrown into this world in America as like a foreign person, I think that just made her reclusive even more. One stereotype that I absolutely struggled with growing up was the model minority stereotype. The fact that all Asians are amazing at crunching numbers and they're just really great academically, blah blah blah. And I think from an outsider's perspective, people might think, wow, like that's actually a really good stereotype. Like people just think you are really smart, but it puts a lot of pressure on you, especially when you are not academically smart. The first experience when I realized that I was different from the rest of the kids was when I was in first or second grade. My mom packed my favorite food, which was curry rice, which is basically just curry with rice, and it has vegetables and meat, and it's so delicious. And I remember being so excited to eat it for lunchtime, and when I opened the Tupperware, I remember a kid looking at it and just being so disgusted, and he just called me out. He was like, "Jennifer packed poop for lunch." And I remember being so mortified and so embarrassed, and I just completely lost my appetite, and I didn't even eat that lunch. And when I got home, I told my mom that I never wanted her to pack things like this again. I told her that I only wanted her to pack like Lunchables and sandwiches, just like normal American food, so that I fit in. And middle school was when everything just kind of changed for me. I feel like it was a lot of factors just hitting all when I was like 11. It was puberty, it was the fact that I was like chubby, and then the fact that like there weren't that many Asians in my school. I remember there was a group of these boys that walked the same route as me home, and I remember hating when we would like cross paths because they would always say something to me. They would say something so like racist. They would say things like, "Hey chink, do you want to do my homework?" Or, "Hey, you dropped your calculator." And now I wish that I had the strength to just clap back at them, because at the time I just didn't say anything. I was so scared.